Q1, the first quartile, or we say the 25th percentile, defined to be the lower 25% of observation less equal to Q1. At the same time, the upper 75% of observation greater or equal to Q1. Any number satisfy these two conditions is called the first quartile of the distribution. And how about Q3? Q3 is the third quartile. Or you say this is the 75th percentile. Okay? The definition is given as follows. The lower 75% of observations less or equal to Q3, and the upper 25% of observations greater or equal to Q3. Okay? Some people may say, Scott, you define Q1 and you define Q3. Why you skip Q2? Okay, let's see, what's Q2? Claim. Follow the definition of these two. You can figure out how we define Q2. The lower 50% of observation less equal to Q2, and the upper 50% of observation greater than Q2. So Q2 is what? Q2 is median. Okay, so what is the relationship between Q1, Q2, and Q3? What is the relationship between Q1, Q2, and Q3? Let's begin with what? An example, right? We use X least. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. 3, 3, 3, 5, 7, and 19. Okay? X1, X2, X6, X7, X9, X10, did I make a mistake? I made a mistake. This is X what? 7. This is X8. Well, this is still a mistake. This is, this is what? X6, X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, X6. This is X1. This is X7. X8, X9, X10, X11, and X12. Okay?
We are unable to see X11.
Pardon?
We are unable to see X11. Now it's...
If you have a question, you can ask. What is the relationship between Q1, Q2, Q3? Let's begin with Q2. What is Q2? Q2 is median. Okay? What is median? Median is the middle number that divide the distribution into what? Two parts of equal size. Okay, so in our example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cut it right here, okay? Q2 is a median. Two middle number, 2 plus 3 divided by 2, that is 2.5. Median is a middle number that divide the distribution into two parts of equal size. So it's cut here. This is the first half. This is the second half. Okay? And the middle number of the first half is called Q1. In this case, 1 plus 1 divided by 2 is 1. And what's Q3? The middle number of the second half. In this case, 3 plus 5 divided by 2, which is 4. Okay? So that's Q1, Q2, and Q3. Next one, introduce you IQR. IQR is an abbreviation of interquartile range. And IQR is defined to be Q3 minus Q1. The third quartile subtracted by the first quartile. That is called IQR, okay? And why this number is important? Well, because it has two purposes. One, IQR is used to measure the dispersion, or you say the spread, of middle 50% of observations. Okay, let's look at the X least example. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. 3, 3, 3, 5, 7, and 19. Okay? Q1 is 1. You can imagine this rule out the lower 25% of observations. Okay? And on the other direction, Q1, Q3, 3 plus 5 divided by 2, which is 4. And this rule out the upper 25% of observation. So from here to here, that distance is called IQR. So IQR measures the spread. IQR measures the spread. For the middle 50% of observations. Unlike range measure from here to here, 100% of observation, the spread of 100%, or you say it's the spread of all observations. That's measured by range. But interquartile range only measure what? The middle 50%, okay? Now, the other usage for IQR is there's a rule called 1.5 IQR rule. This is used to detect outliers. Okay. More will be introduced after you finish the copying of this page. Okay. Please look at the picture here. The dot product of X distribution, okay? These are what? The overall pattern. And this one stand out, okay? This one fall outside the overall pattern. So we suspect this number is an outlier. How can we detect its outlier? Well, what do you know about outliers? Outliers are extreme observations. Outliers are extreme observation. They can be either extremely large or extremely small, okay? But how large is large? How small equals small? You have to cut the line somewhere, okay? So the 1.5 IQR rule provides us a way to cut the line, okay? So let's look at the detail for the 1.5 IQR rules, okay? Any observations in the list that is greater or equal to Q3 plus 1.5 IQR, we call it what? Too big, okay? We call it too big. And in our example, Q3 is 4 plus 1.5 times IQR is Q3 minus Q1. Q3 is 4. Q1 is 1 in our list. So 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 times 1.5, 4.5. 4.5 plus 4 is what? 8.5. Okay? So we can cut the line here. In this list, any number that is 8.5 or even bigger, that's called too big. Okay? On the other direction, okay? Any observation in the list that is less or equal to, okay? That is less or equal to Q1, this is a typo. This is not plus. This one should be minus. Okay, minus 1.5 IQR is called too small, outliers. So Q1 in this list is 1, minus 1.5, Q3 minus Q1. Q3 again is 4. Q1 is 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 times 1.5, 4.5. 1 minus 4.5, minus 3.5. So in this given list, any number that is minus 3.5 or even smaller, that's called too small, outlier. So if 1.5 IQR rule is used, there is only one outlier, and that is what? That is 19, okay? Note, the semi means half. Semi IQR, okay, is IQR divided by 2. In our example, Q3 is 4. Q1 is 1. 4 minus 1. IQR is 3. 3 divided by 2, 1.5. So semi IQR is 1.5 for our example. Okay? Okay, next one, let's look at comments on the measure of relative what? Positions. Okay? First one, percentile rank and percentile. Okay? Percentile ranks versus percentile. Now let's still use what? The X list as our example, okay? say 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 5, 7, 19. Okay? This is our X distribution. Now, we know 2.5. This is a median. Or we say what? The 25th what? Percentile. Okay? Median in this given list is 2.5. Or we say median is 25th percentile. Okay? And 2.5 is obtained by 2 plus 3 divided by 2. So we say the 50th percentile of X distribution is 2.5. Okay? But the same fact can be stated in a different way. Or we can say, the percentile rank of 2.5 is 50%. What's 50% here? Well, look at here. Okay, now let's see. We say the 50th percentile of X is what? 2.5. Okay? Let me try one more time. Percentile rank and percentile. We know 2.5 is median, or we call the 25th percentile of X distribution. The 50th percentile of X distribution is 2.5. Or the same fact, we can state it in a different way. We can also say the percentile rank of 2.5 is 50%. Okay? So, percentile refer to an X score. And percentile rank refer to what? As a percentage. What percentage? Cumulative percentage. Okay? Look at the picture here. If we accumulate from the very left all the way up to this location, 2.5, we accumulate the lower 50% of what? Observation. Okay? And that 50% is called the percentile rank of 2.5. Because from very left up to 2.5, we accumulate the lower 50% of observation. Okay? So let's go over this again. Percentile refer to an X score, 2.5. And the percentile rank refer to the percentage. Excuse me. What percentage? If you accumulate observation from very left up to X score equal to 2.5, you accumulate the lower what? 50% of observation. So percentile refer to as a X score, and percentile rank refer to as a percentage, the cumulative percentage. Okay. Let's look at here. Percentile rank and percentile. We say median. This is almost what I covered already, just repeat. Median is a 50th percentile of X distribution. And the percentile rank of median is 50%. Okay? The notation used, P sub 50. This is on lower position. So we read it as P sub 50, but that's too much trouble, okay? But that's too much trouble. So most of the time I just read as P50, the 50th percentile. Now, use the invented new notation, okay? Let's look at P35. What's P35? The 35th percentile. And the formal definition for P35 is that the lower 35% of observation less or equal to P35, and the upper 65% of observation should be greater or equal to P35, okay? Now, furthermore, we can define a lot of new terms, okay? P10, P20, up to P90. These 9 numbers are turned the first through what? The ninth decile, because they divide the distribution into 10 components with 10% of observation in each. 3. P20, P40, P60, P80. These 4 numbers are turned the first through 4th quintiles, quint for 5, because they divide the distribution into 5 components with 25% of observation in each. 4. P25, P50, P75. Remember, this is the one we just covered. First quartile, second quartile, and the third quartile. These 3 numbers are turned the first through third quartiles, quart for 4, because they divide the distribution into 4 components with 25% of observation in each, okay? Collectively, percentiles, deciles, quintiles, and quartiles are referred to as what? Quantiles, like a quantitative variable, okay? If you want to copy, go ahead. You have 1 minute.